No, 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 no. I can hear myself. Alright. Well, that's gonna fork the very beginning of the song. Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome back. So my throat has not been hurting at all. Now what Crisis Core did, we could focus a lot more on Symphonic Rain. Provided that the demo doesn't come out tomorrow for 7 Remake, which I mean, of course I wanted to, but that'd be the mainstay of my life till March 3rd. March 2nd at 9 p.m. I don't like that line. Walking home with no umbrella. What did she mean by this? What did she dare mean by this? Walking home with no umbrella. It's for real though, it really makes no sense to me. I don't understand what she meant by that. Guess I'll never know. Well, probably not till we unlock this, which I'm assuming is going to be the final route. Alright, well, let's continue on from yesterday. We're about to probably get a time skip. So we left off with Arietta surprising us on New Year's. I don't think is it really that deep? Huh. I don't know if it's that deep. Well, we'll find out. The unanswered feeling thing makes sense. The I like you, I hate you, no, I love you, but it's just beyond me. Over a month had passed since I started practicing Suckrit. I knew it so well, my hands were moving automatically. It was definitely the first time I'd ever spent so much time on a single song, lessons included. Throughout that time, I'd been with Torta and listening to her sing, and that would continue until the graduation recital. Just behind me, I heard the sound of plates and spoons being placed on a desk. I kept playing the fortele. Watch out now, it's still hot. Oh, okay, Torta. That's Arietta, you fool. Huh? Oh. You... Okay. It certainly felt as if Torta had been standing there. That's because it is. It is Torta. But that was Arietta without a doubt, who was staring at me with a look of shock. I could hear singing in my head, so I made a mistake. My voice sounded hollow. I didn't mean to, but I knew I'd said something that hurt her feelings, obviously. Was it because I'd been spending so much time with her sister? And I'd been so sure that I would never make that mistake ever. She looked away and stood still. I'm sorry. I'll be leaving now. Maybe it's not Torta. Ari's voice trembled as she picked up her bag from the corner of the room. Wait. I told Torta in my letter that I'll be staying at Grandma's tonight, so it's fine. No, that's not what... The Paramanata will taste good even after it cools down. Wait. Oh, man. Maybe it's not Torta. Because obviously if it was Torta, she wouldn't have gotten upset. This is not a happy CG. As Arietta reached for the doorknob, I grabbed her hand. Without saying anything, she looked into my eyes. Perhaps because she wasn't even aware of it, her tears had gathered. She remained perfectly still, her expressionless face broken by only her blinking. In that moment, tears fell. She was crying. Ari did feel insecure. Even if she said that she was fine with Torta and I, there was probably some part of her that couldn't accept it. The relationships between the three of us were clear-cut, but they were complicated as well. I wasn't delusional, but I was pretty sure that for a minute, Torta had liked me. I'd liked both of them, but the day I realized that wasn't sustainable, I made a choice. Of course, Arietta knew the choice I made. But that didn't change anything between the two of them. Still, I'm sorry. Okay. I slowly let go of her hand. Still, I'm gonna go. With tears in her eyes, she stood her ground. At that moment, no one in the world could have gotten her to change her mind. I knew that from our years together. I could walk you home. No. No, it's not okay. I wasn't going to give in though either. Fine. Walk me home. We walked alongside the dark streets of the city at night while I stared at her back. I knew that she'd avoid me if I tried to walk beside her, so I trailed behind her. You're going back home tomorrow, right? Could I see you off at the station? No, I'm going to be on my own tomorrow. I want to see you off. Her silence was heartbreaking, and I couldn't say anything else. In the end, I walked her all the way to Nina's house, but Ari didn't turn around. As I took my leave, she whispered, 10. Huh? That's when my train leaves. After some time, I realized that she was showing forgiveness in her own way. I'll be there. She probably couldn't have heard me through the door, but I said it anyway, and I went back to my house. On the way home, my feet felt heavy, and that's why I got extra wet. I was dripping all over the floor, and against all expectations, a towel had been laid out, and I looked around the room. Forney? But there was no one there. If she was trying to make me feel better, she should have made fun of me instead. I buried my face in the soft towel, and I soaked up all the rain. Thank you. I called out to her upon entering the room, but she didn't show any sign of appearance. I threw the towel into the basket with some force, and I looked at the food on the desk. The parmigiana and the bread were laid out side by side, and they looked delicious. I tried a mouthful. This tastes great. But it went without saying that since the recipe came from her grandmother, Ari executed it so well it tasted just like Nina's. If Ari were here, she'd take that as a compliment, but there was no one here to hear it. Even so, I had almost zero appetite. I covered the food with a kitchen towel and decided to just eat some tomorrow. Forney didn't show any sign of appearance, so I collapsed in the bed without changing. She was okay with me seeing her off, which meant she had forgiven me, right? If she were really mad at me, she could have just told me not to come. Still, that didn't solve anything at all. Resolving to make another sincere apology tomorrow, I closed my eyes and fell asleep. Forney, wake me up at 9. Until then, I had a way of thinking of that as a mistake, or some kind of excuse. Okay, I will. It was comforting to hear her voice back. Thank you. Utterly exhausted, both mentally and physically, I fell asleep immediately. In before he's late. No one woke me up today, but I opened up my eyes at the same time as yesterday. The train was leaving at 10, so I'll be to Nina's about 9. Forney still didn't show any sign of appearance. I had time to spare, but I wasn't going to waste any of it, so I started getting ready. I ate some of the food that Arietta made last night, stuffing my face with bread. Well, this is delicious. Even with just one mouthful, I had the same reaction as yesterday. After a night's rest, I felt calmer. Also, I hadn't eaten anything since lunch yesterday, so I had a real appetite. Drinking a latte and filling myself with Arietta's bread, I had a relaxed morning. Ari. Whispering her name, I headed out. It was a little past 9 according to the clock. Even if I walked there, I'd be there in time. While avoiding the slightly heavy rain under the buildings, I took my time. What should I say to Ari when I saw her? I'll tell her sorry for yesterday. With Ari, apologizing too much might make her worried, but were there anything else to say? Even if it came from the heart, I love you would sound like a lie. As I thought about these things, my hard-earned peace of mind went away. And in 5 minutes, I was at Nina's house. Everyone was probably awake, so I didn't have to worry about knocking. Hello? After I knocked, I heard a voice from within. Coming, just a minute. I couldn't tell if it was Arietta or Torta. Morning, Chris. Wait a minute! We might be able to see both of them in the same room! I didn't know if this was Ari giving me the cold shoulder, but the person who opened the door was Torta. Hey, where's Ari? You ready? You ready? She left already. Knew it! I knew it! I knew it! Tell me I didn't call it. I knew it! I knew it! I knew it. This scumbag is Arietta, lads. I've been known this from the start. I've been known this from the first route. Huh? Because her train was at 9. She left a message. Here we go. I might cry again if we talk face to face, so to deal with this calamity, tell me everything in your next letter. She articulated every word. My next letter? Come to think of it, I hadn't read the letter that she had given me. I see. I suddenly felt deflated. Had I done something irreparable? Her telling me the time yesterday wasn't a sign of forgiveness. She told a lie to go avoid seeing me. Chris, did Ari tell you? A little. I see. Let's forget about practice today. That would be helpful. Looking at the time, I realized that running to the station now would be pointless. I was searching for something to say to Torta so I could make my exit, but then she spoke first. She's not mad at you. What do you mean? She said she just wanted time alone. She wasn't mad though. I see. If you want to talk, I'm listening. Thank you, but there's no way I could talk to Torta about it. Take today and tomorrow off. We'll resume practice on the 4th. Back when school starts. Pull your brain together by then, okay? I don't need a break. There are so many things I could do anyway. Today was fine, but there was no reason to take tomorrow off as well. You don't have to put up a front. If your head isn't in the right place, practicing is useless. Even so, I don't think a break will make any difference. In that case, just tomorrow then? Yeah, tomorrow. Actually, I think tomorrow would make things easier for me. To that extent, I didn't have to worry about anything. But today, I had to write my letter to Arietta, and as Torta said, I needed to sort out feelings. Chris? What? See you tomorrow. I'll go to your place. Yeah, okay. I'll see you tomorrow then. I didn't care anymore about the rain. Dear Chris, you're probably reading this after spending yesterday with me. Which means you should be happy, I guess. I'm sure I'll be happy by then too. I trust you had a wonderful Christmas. That's all for today. What I want to say, the memories are all in your memory anyway. Until your next letter? Huh? What did she mean by this? The memories are all in your memories. I put down the letter. For a while I couldn't say or do anything. When I was able to move again, I collapsed. I thought I'd been able to spend the whole day doing nothing but that bubble burst too. I heard a loud knock. At this time of day, who could it be? Torta? Coming. If it's Arietta... Oh, okay. Hello, Mr. Trovatore. I really like your theme. Oh, hello, Asino. Woke up? No. Something happened? He sounded unusually solemn. You could say that. Tornita? I could have just said yes, or was it something else? Torta couldn't be left out of the equation, that was true. But the real core was Arietta. But I didn't have any intention of lying to him either. Arietta then, right? Before I could respond, he spoke with an ironic smile. Yeah, you could say that. If this isn't your just woke up face, you look awful. Something happened then. It's fine if you don't want to talk about it, but if you do, I'm here for you. Thank you. Wow. Woof. That must have been bad. Yeah. More or less. In that case, let's just forget about it. Huh? Forget about why I came. Ah, why did you come? I was worried about what we said before. Huh? Partners, have you decided? Oh, it's Torta. Really? Well, that's not unexpected, right? If you'd only done that from the beginning, you'd have no problems now. Well, that's not necessarily true. I might have been even more attracted to Torta, and there was always a possibility of hurting them. How did things get so bad? Oh well. And you? Me? No, no partner. What? Like I said, not yet. But I have a candidate. Well, I'm sure you'll figure something out. Thanks for the confidence, but really, it's fine. Of course, that's it? I was gonna ask if you were hungry, but some other time. Wouldn't hurt you asking to do something in a while, if time was right. I'll listen if you want to talk. He repeated his earlier offer. Perhaps I really did look awful enough to make him worried. I hadn't looked in the mirror, but I decided not to in case I lost all confidence in myself. Alright, I'll get going then. I don't want to get in your way. By the way, you're wearing your uniform. I have practice today. I can't afford to take a break now. Wow, that's a first. Hey, when it's time to get serious, I do. Anyway, get some rest today, man. Thank you. He left without entering the room. If it wasn't something I could do to talk to someone about, so that part couldn't be helped. Torta knew everything and perhaps she could have given me some useful advice, but it was so blindingly obvious that doing this would only make things complicated. After Asano left, I wrote a letter. It was a short one, full of apologies. Huh? Game? Oh. Whoa. Why is this blank? Was that a translation error? Is there something more? I'm really sorry, but I really like you. After that, the end was waiting for your reply. I had no idea how I was supposed to take responsibility for what I said. I couldn't opt out of performing tomorrow, nor could I throw everything away. All I could do was tell Arietta how I truly felt and let her be the judge. I placed the letter in the mailbox, came back in the room, ate the rest of the bread, and that was the end of that day. Fawny must have wanted to give me some time. Fawny never appeared. Time passed regardless of my worries. I slept at night, in the morning, and a new day began. Morning. Morning. I passed the towel to Torta as always and went back into the room. I had fallen asleep early the night before and gotten everything ready. Torta always arrived on time, so I made some espresso. The latte's almost ready, so have a seat while you wait. You're eerily well prepared. It is morning after all. I poured plenty of milk into the cups I had bought and brought them to the table with spoons. You're more energetic than usual, I guess. So, are we gonna practice after we finish drinking? Aren't you gonna ask? Can I? Ah, dummy. You talk about whenever you want to. Anyways, let's practice. We have to make up for the 2 days lost. Thanks. I heard the same thing yesterday, though. From who? Asano. Wow, that's rare. He must have been in a good mood. Looked like it. Did you talk to him? No, I didn't want to. Huh. She nodded like she sort of understood, and then pulled out her sheet music as if nothing had happened. You want us to start? The days were so fragile, and it seemed like everything would suddenly collapse. Woof. But in reality, it was being supported by the steady passage of time. When today ended, tomorrow would definitely come. Even an incredible change would be swallowed by that wave. When the wave receded, the only thing left would be the restructured, peaceful sand. And that sand would crumble away, not even leaving its shape. Alright, get up and get ready for school. It's 9. I felt like I had been slightly sleeping the day before. I felt like I kept having the same dream, but I had already forgotten it and I couldn't remember anything. Even so, I went to sleep right after Torta left, so I didn't feel like a lack of sleep. Morning. You have school from today. Get ready soon. She hadn't shown herself for 2 days, and that's what she said the moment she appeared. I've been calling out to you for the past 2 days. Why didn't you come out? Obviously because I wanted to think alone. I'll come out any time if necessary, but I didn't think the past 2 days have been necessary. I mean, you have Asano and Torta, friends that will worry about you. There are things I can't talk to either of them about, though. Then it's better you don't talk to me. You need to face reality yourself. What's wrong with you today? That's rare coming from you all of a sudden. It wasn't her normal tone. Even though I knew what she was saying was right, I couldn't accept it. I'm worried about you. Everyone is, so when you really need it, it's okay to depend on them. I can't believe I'm hearing this from you. If you could chat like this, it's enough. Come on, you don't have much time for school. It's that time already? Weren't you listening? You have less than 20 minutes. Get ready quick and get going. Practice hard. I know. I knew that Forney was showing me she cared with this innocuous interaction. There were many people supporting me and I was a problem for them. With gratitude and guilt in my heart, I said goodbye and went outside. Oh, morning. Torta must have been waiting for me as she called out. Morning. I answered her and we entered the school together. I looked down to the windows of the row of practice rooms as I walked down the hallway. Half of them were filled with faces I recognized, probably third years. It's pretty crowded today. Of course, but it's okay. Huh? I came early and put my bag down. Saying this, she headed for the door of the practice room in front of us. Your bag? You're well prepared. That's because I have to cover up for Mr. Unprepared. You're absolutely right. You're supposed to deny that. No, I'm not going to. Whatever. Torta sighed as if unimpressed and opened the door. That's a little unsafe. Her bag was just sitting on a chair. Most people go away as soon as they see it. I guess that's true. I know I would. Exactly. Regardless, I got here first. What time did you get here? Almost 9. I warmed up my voice. It takes a voice longer to warm up than an instrument. I always come about 30 minutes early. Impressive. Impressive. Now how about you? Torta was already prepared and said this to me to hurry up. I'm almost ready. But I must have become used to all of this as I got ready when I talked. I set up my portable fortelli and opened up the sheet music. Okay, let's play it through. The moment she said that, I heard a knock. Huh? I thought it was my imagination, but when I looked out the small window to make sure, Cordell was speaking inside. Cordell! She couldn't hear me like that, so I quickly opened up the door. Good morning. Good morning. I know it's silly, but I'm glad you're here. I guess we have Torta needed to thanks for this. You got it. Oh, Miss Cordell, good morning. What brings you here? I thought I'd drop by and see the faces of my students now that the holiday is over. But my condition, I thought I want to watch you perform. What do you say? Oh, of course. If you wouldn't mind, we'd be delighted. That's the spirit. Very well. 1:30, usual classroom. Oh, right. Alright, keep up your normal practice until then. Having said her piece, she walked away. She probably left to check on her other students. Okay, now we have to practice more seriously than ever. Torta seemed to brace herself all the more. She said this with a grave face. Okay, let's get going. Huh? Oh, it's that time already. We had finished our morning practice and we were eating lunch in the cafeteria when Torta said this while glancing at the clock. It was still a little too early, but that was just like her. It wouldn't hurt to go early, though, so I stood up with my lunch tray and walked to the entrance. Torta threw the remains of the sandwich she made in the trash and followed me. It was the same as last time, but I'm a little nervous. If this makes you nervous, what are you going to do at the recital? You are delicate for a boy. Just more delicate than you. What's that mean? That's what I'm talking about. I wouldn't be able to do this if I was as delicate as you. Do what? Lots of things. You like dress up as Arietta. She said this in an uncharacteristic tone and left as I was putting my tray down. Excuse me. Huh? Oh, Chris, Torta, you're early. When we opened the door, Miss Cordell was standing right there. Hopefully. She appeared to have some sheet music in her hand and looked like she was about to go outside. Do you have plans? Yeah, it will only take about 5 minutes. Do you want to wait here for a little? Yeah, no problem. It's our fault for coming early. Thanks. Alright, I'll be right back. My supervisor was gone, but Miss Cordell probably had a lot of things to do. I watched her walk away with quick steps. Well, let's get everything ready. All Torta had to do was put on her sheet music, and I made some simple adjustments to my fortele. My body was already loose, so I wasn't planning on really practicing for the 5 minutes we had. I played something to pass the time, and I thought I heard Torta's whisper. I realized right away that what she wasn't saying to me, and when I listened, it was part of the song. The singing voice from that day had overlapped. Torta. I whispered. Without thinking, I whispered her name. You stop playing. I just... Something's up? No, nothing. You're weird. Torta returned her gaze to the sheet music and started singing softly again. Their voices were similar, but that was to be expected. Sorry to keep you waiting. It seems like you're both ready. You want to start? Oh, yeah. Very well. Begin. Yes. Miss Cordell says in a grudging tone. Even I knew that we didn't do a very good job. Sorry. The music itself wasn't bad. Hold on. Forgive me. I want to go back. I need to make saves more often. I want to go back to see if I actually did good in that song. What would happen? You ever just fly through this and realize just how many lines we've read? Alright, here we go. Okay, we're caught up. Alright, let's see. So, if we just skip the song, she says something like, I could tell it wasn't very good, or something like that. Let's see if that changes if I actually play. Also, I feel like playing bad is actually kind of canon. Then I say that because for this route, whenever he looks at Torta, he thinks of Arietta, and he obviously is feeling probably the guiltiest he's felt about his infidelity. Which is to be expected when it's the person's own twin sister. So it'd only be like, you know, expected that he would play bad. It's... Hold on, I need to read chat while I'm playing. It's Ken. Oh, Esmeralda talking about her beer pong family. That was quite good. It does change. Miss Cooler smiled in spite of herself as if in admiration. Thank you very much. Thank you. Torta looked satisfied. That being said, were there any problems? No, none in particular. That's good then. Keep working just like that. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Our performance over, we were cleaning up to go back to the practice room and Cordell called out from behind. Oh, I have something I want to talk to you about. Stay behind. Oh, sure. Not you. Tortanita. Oh, yeah. They were looking behind so I couldn't see, but it seemed like Miss Cordell was looking at Torta when she said that. It has to do with vocals, so you can leave, Chris. Oh, okay, I'll head out. Okay, you go back first. Use the same practice room if it's open. If not, then we'll be finished soon. 5 minutes. Alright, can you go back to the practice room then? I don't want them to fill up. Okay, I'll be going. Yeah, I'm generally here all day, so come by if you want to ask me. I'll do whatever I can. Thank you very much. Alright, I'll be just a minute. Yeah. Saying only this, I walked out. Luckily, the practice room we were using before was available. I just killed time until she was finished and came back. I thought again about Miss Cordell coming while we were practicing and know how we'd had to stop. About that, how Ari and Torta singing was just so similar. That may have been obvious. But even if they did have the same voice, I didn't think I'd mistake one for the other. See, the Chekhov's gun here, he keeps talking about how much they're alike, how much they sing is alike, how much they cook alike, how much they look alike, how much their voice is alike, how much they look, how much they talk, blah 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 blah. Well, this is Chekhov's gun. So it was difficult to explain with words. It was their characters, their behavior. I could definitely tell the differences between even the slight variations in there. See, I really do think that Arietta and Torta are the same person. However, I should probably say that I thought I did. I understood now that Torta's remark that they each covered for what the other lacked. Sorry to keep you waiting. Torta returned after about 30 minutes. Wow. Okay. Oh, welcome back. Yeah, see that was probably a lie. Honestly, I don't think that Cordell actually was trying to go for her talking about what's it called? The singing. Okay, we don't have time to fool around, let's practice. That took a long time. Yeah, it was complicated. You look fairly pleased. A little. Practice, practice. She said this to laughingly kick me out of the funk I was about to sink into. I was fine with that and we were tired regardless. Good work. You too. I gave a big stretch in the chair to loosen up. Class had begun at the school and it had already been about 3 days since we moved from our practice room to our houses to the practice room. Torta showed more resolve than before, and day in and day out we continued practicing. At first I was preoccupied with practice and could get by without thinking about anything else. And I welcomed that notion, but I'm tired. What are you saying? We're practicing tomorrow and the day after. What are you going to do if you're tired already? Huh? I can't even have a single day off? Of course you can't. How many days off do you think we have until the recital? It's only 2 weeks, you know. Even so, isn't it better to take a rest at least? Listen. She heaved a big sigh and sat in the chair. Torta, aren't you tired? Huh? Torta replied a little late, like she wasn't even listening to me. I'm fine. Are you more tired than me? Well, that may be true. You admit it. You don't have to pretend to be worried. I just think about the graduation recital now. I couldn't think all this hard practice was to keep me distracted. On the other hand, if the practice was really only for the graduation recital, I guess we could have taken it a little easier. That may have been a selfish notion, but I thought Torta must have had a reason for practicing so hard. Are you really not tired at all? No, I'm fine. Even as she said this, she made no effort to get up from the chair. It was almost time for the practice room to be closed. And in a little while, the lecturer would come by and we'd just get yelled at. It was at that time that Torta would usually get ready to go home quickly and tell me I was being too slow as I was still putting away my fortelli. That reminded me, I felt like she had spent a long time resting here the day before. Torta had already said it. I, a boy, was tired, so there was no way a girl like Torta wasn't. No matter how much she had been practicing, in the end I didn't think my stamina was that inferior to hers. Torta? Okay, let's clean up and go home. Yeah. Torta said this happily, at least on the surface. I caught up to her as she hurried outside and called from behind. Hey, do you have a minute? What's up? Can I talk to you? Talk? We can talk on the way home. What's wrong? You look grim. Well, I guess that's fine. She looked totally normal when she was talking, but I somehow sensed that she was feeling desperate. I couldn't totally shake her feeling either. What do you want to talk about? Why have you been practicing so hard recently? Well, because the graduation recital. No. You say you're not tired, but it doesn't look it. You're trying to take a day off again, right? Excuses? No, that's not it. Actually listen to what I'm saying. I am. Okay, let's go over there then. I pointed to the piazza and suggested to Torta that we sit down. She followed but bluffed by saying I'm okay. That made me even worry more. We both sat on the rim of the fountain and continued talking while drinking the hot drinks we bought. So, what we were talking about before, it's not just for the graduation recital, is it? What isn't? She must have felt tired the moment she sat down. I could tell just from her voice alone. The reason you're practicing until you're worn out. I said many times, I don't think you're telling the truth. Why? I want to give the best graduation recital that I can. Maybe this was better than before? Okay, so why don't you want to give the best performance out of all of a sudden? Don't you want to? I didn't say that, but I don't plan on practicing enough or hard enough to ruin my own health. But that's not good enough. Why? To give a good performance and... Huh? Huh, she says. I'm asking you. To give a performance and then what? To get good marks. Yeah. What do you plan on doing after you graduate? Don't change my subject. But that's important too. If you answer that, I'll finish what I was saying. I don't have an answer for what I'm going to do. You haven't decided on what you're going to do after graduation? That's right. I was just thinking to get to the graduation recital over with first. It won't be too late then? It might be. I know that logically, but I can't do anything about it. That's why I always am worrying. Worrying? Whatever path you choose, if we do well at the graduation recital, your choices increase. You said you didn't know whether or not you wanted to become a professional, right? Even so, you might decide what to be. Thinking you should have done something differently in the past, when that time comes, is too late. So if we just give a good graduation recital, you could choose whatever path you want to go down. Even if you choose a different path, you should be confident in yourself, which means that it was all for me. I, of course, didn't believe all of what she said. There didn't seem to be some truth to it, so I didn't think it was completely a lie. However, I did get a strange feeling from her. I didn't say anything about it, though. I just showed my gratitude towards her. Thank you. You're welcome. A tired smile rose to her face as she was released. Did she really think I believed what she said? Even so, I did pretend to believe. Even until the time came that Torta thought she could tell me. You could talk about it when you're ready. I whispered those words I'd heard from Torta and asked to know in my heart. So, where's practice tomorrow? How about your place? Then Sunday we can go back to my house. Got it, then. Be careful going home. I swallowed those words at the last second. If I had said it, Torta would probably have suspected me worrying about her. See you tomorrow. Yeah, see you tomorrow. Torta walked home with pretty strong steps. I didn't show up, but I was tired myself. But that girl was working hard. It couldn't be me. It couldn't only be me taking a day off. Going until you hurt yourself is one thing, but practicing until you're tired isn't bad. Hoping that Torta would feel better tomorrow, I dragged my tired body home. I hadn't completely gotten rid of my fatigue, but I woke up in the morning. I asked Forney to wake me up just in case, but it was apparently no use. I got myself ready quickly and made something light to eat. I'd already taken a shower. I got the espresso machine going. The time was 5 to 10. I just had to wait for Torta to arrive. She's probably not going to arrive today. Torta will be here soon, right? Yeah, she will. She looked at the clock like she couldn't wait. After I finished the light meal that passed for my breakfast, I had nothing to do. It was definitely a good thing to get ready early, but it meant that I was bored. Since I was bored, I set up the fortelli and tapped away. Forney started to sing along. I moved my gaze and glanced at the clock. Quite a bit of time had passed without me realizing it. It's already past 10. Oh, it is past 10. She's never late. She was almost never later than promised. I maybe thought I had forgotten to unlock the door, but she would have knocked. No matter how lost we were in playing, that wouldn't have escaped both Forney and I's attention. That's strange. Forney understood Torta's personality, so she was starting to realize something was not right. If it was Asano, I wouldn't have worried if he was even 30 minutes late. I'm gonna go look for her. If you're looking outside, just go to her house. Yeah, but maybe she stopped somewhere. That's true. And speak of the devil. I quickly opened the door and Torta answered. Sorry, I overslept. Morning. Ah, so you do oversleep. Of course, once every couple years. Well, things happen. I said this teasingly and Torta smiled as she started getting ready. Seeing her like that gave me a bad feeling. Torta didn't have a comeback, she just worked quietly. I watched her for a while and realized that she was giving me what was giving me the bad feeling. Her movements were slower. I had always thought of Torta as someone who worked quickly, but today she was slow and she moved like she was checking each thing individually. And despite that, she never stopped smiling. Tired? I thought so the day before as well, but lately Torta was always practicing like she was possessed. I didn't think it was just the recital that was drawing near. If there was another reason for it, I wanted to ask, but she dodged me the day before. I would probably have to ask her about it seriously. Chris? As I was wondering how to broach the subject with Torta, Forney called out. Torta was facing the other way, so I looked at Forney and mouthed, What? She has a fever, right? A fever? She's acting weird. Like she's only standing by force of her own will. I did see that she was acting weird. If Forney noticed it too, something really had to have been off. Hey, Torta, can we talk? Huh? What's up? She came near and I grabbed her hand. Hey, your hand, it's hot. Because it's cold outside. Don't move. I said this to Torta as she tried to pull her hand away, then I put my other hand against her forehead. She had a fever. And a pretty high one at that. Torta, what are you doing? Why didn't you tell me you weren't feeling well? I feel fine. Liar. I could tell that much. I still hadn't released her hand. That being said, I was gripping it lightly enough so that she could have easily pulled away. Torta had tried to pull away it several times, but she had no strength to do so. Let me go. If you feel fine, you should free yourself. Got him. That's mean. So you caught a cold. A little. Listen, if you keep this up, we won't get any real practice. You understand that much, right? No, I came here because I thought I was fine. It's impossible. Even her tough words had no strength. She must have forced every step on the way here. But having pointed out to her and admitting it must have drained her. Just sit down for now. If you want, I can get you something to drink. Looking as if she'd finally given up, she silently obeyed. Forney was also looking worriedly from across the table. I went to the kitchen, filled a cup of warm milk, and I returned. Here, drink this. That is gross. Thank you. She responded tersely and brought the cup to her lips. I sat down next to her and thought about what to do. If she had walked here, I thought she'd be fine walking home, but... So you didn't say anything to Nina? Huh? No, nothing. You've got to at least tell your grandmother. She would have stopped me if I said anything. You know that, so why did you come here? It's fine. Torta put down her cup and heaved a big sigh. This song is just such a banger. I could tell how bad it was just by looking at her. You should just go home today and get rest. I'll be fine if I rest for a minute. Do you know how many days we have left to practice? Practice, practice, practice. That's all you talk about. Why are you so worried about practice? Because I want to give a perfect performance. Don't make me repeat myself. It's because you haven't really answered me, Torta, so what makes you actually want to give a perfect performance? Do you have to? Is it for me? But it's not just that. If it's not for you, then it's for myself. You want me to be a pro? Is that your dream? I think I do. I've been saying that since I was little. Is that really all? That's all. I hadn't misunderstood her, but I could sense right away that she was lying. I feel like you've been doing nothing but lying to me since yesterday. Ah, secret. Why do you think that? You're asking that question so I could take it as to you admitting it. You didn't deny. I just want to know the reason for the misunderstanding. That again. Talking like this won't change. Just please go home today. Get a good rest and we'll practice again when you feel better. At a more moderate pace next time. No. Huh? I could sing. If I rest for just a short minute, I'll be fine. No, I'm bringing you home. I'm gonna go buy an umbrella somewhere, so just wait a bit. I said no. I said no too. Just wait a little longer. We don't know yet. Why? I don't understand why you're so angry. Just wait a little longer. For what? For you to feel better? If she was like this, I would have no choice but to force an answer. To that end, it may have been a good idea to let her rest. Fine, use my bed. Just go lie down right now. Yeah. She answered honestly and gave another large sigh. I quickly changed the sheets and told Torta to lie down, to which she obeyed. I placed a chair alongside her and I watched over her. Forney said she wanted to be close, so I sat her on the bedside. Just sleep, just for a little. It's hard to sleep with you watching me like that. Then you want me to play something for you so you could rest? I'll start singing, so no. That's true. I suppose she could still alright if I could joke. Even so, her priority was getting her to sleep. If you can't sleep, I'm gonna go out for a bit. Where to? A little shopping. Want something to eat? Fruit. I'd eat that. That reminds me, have you eaten today? I wasn't hungry, so no. Okay, well, I'll be back. Oh. It's nothing. I couldn't remember what it was that I went to Torta's house with a cold. It was hot that day, so it must have been a summer. Torta stayed next to me until I could fall asleep. I was gonna leave, but I think I'll wait a bit. Why? Changing the sheets tired me out. Weakling. Sorry. I suppose it's fine. Yeah, good night. I picked up a book while sitting in the chair, doing my best not to disturb her. I knew I wouldn't actually be able to read it, so I just grabbed one randomly. I flipped through the pages loudly and tried not to meet her gaze. As I did this, I heard the soft breathing and stopped turning the pages. I listened to make sure her breathing was regular, and I waited quietly for 5 more minutes. When I stood up, Forney turned her worried gaze from Torta and faced me. You're going out? I leaned in and whispered, I'm going to go buy some fruit and an umbrella. Can you watch Torta while I'm gone? I don't mind, but I can't do anything. If she wakes up, just tell me after. Right. But I wonder if there's anything else I could do. Why don't you sing her a lullaby? She probably won't be able to hear it, but... Yeah, I'll sing her a lullaby then. Even Forney's voice sounded worried. Maybe my worry rubbed off on her. Okay, give me your report later. Yeah, have a good trip. Okay, I'll see you later. She could wake up at any time, so I hurried. With all the shops lined up in the main road, they had everything you normally needed. I brought fruit, ingredients for risotto so we could have a nice meal, and an umbrella. Perhaps because umbrellas weren't normally used, I walked around the general store many times before I actually found one. The rain wasn't too strong, but it was an inconvenience. I thought having one around the house wouldn't get in the way, so I tried to choose a good quality one that 2 people could fit under. Taking the umbrellas out of the bag wouldn't be a pain, so I went home without using it. I opened the door as to not make a sound, and the towel was in the entryway like always. Even at times like this, I thought, but for the moment I was grateful and I wiped myself off. I put everything that I had bought besides the umbrella in the kitchen and went to the bedside. She was sleeping soundly. She didn't wake up a single time. I see, that's good. Oh, and thanks for the towel. I tried to keep my voice down, but Torta's eyes opened when I spoke. I sat down on the chair next to her so we could talk. Did you say something? My voice must have woken her, so Torta asked, softly. I was just talking to myself, but you should be sleeping. How do you feel? Honestly. Not very good. Okay. Stomach? Still not hungry. Can you eat some fruit? It's not good that you haven't eaten anything today. You know, I never thought you'd say that to me. Well, that doesn't matter, so... For now, I'm fine. Okay, just sleep. Just a little more. Okay. Before I could ask her again, she closed her eyes, and I watched her carefully. Her face was slightly red, probably from the fever. Perhaps she was having trouble breathing as her chest was heaving up and down. I didn't know if she was cold or hot. As I wondered if there was anything else I could do, she suddenly opened her eyes. I can't sleep. So do you want to talk? About graduation? Broadly speaking, yeah, I guess I could enter into it. You're tenacious. Since you understand, you'll tell me, right? I thought she fell asleep again as her eyes closed, but she continued talking. I don't have anything to say. Huh? I've practiced hard for 3 years. I've had relatively high marks for my lectures, and it's been fun for me to get better. But what I really wanted was those marks even to improve. Oh no. Well, we knew it was coming. I like you. She finally said it. That's kind of how it felt. But now I'd heard it, I didn't feel any regret or even penitence. I wanted to hear all of what she had more to say. You're not going to say anything. Just continue. I like you. I've been thinking about what I could do for a long time. Of course, I know that you really like Eri, so it wasn't that I really wanted you to like me. I just wanted the memory. Since I can perform with you at the final, most important recital, I wanted to give you the best possible performance. I don't have any memories with you. I don't. So, I thought it would be okay just once. I wanted to try as hard as I could, give a great performance, and create a memory. One that would last with you. Perhaps tired from talking for so long, she closed her eyes again and caught her breath. I had known how Torta felt for a long time. I almost couldn't pretend that I didn't. We both had avoided saying it, hearing it, and having our relationship become awkward. I was the one who forced her to say it, but I didn't feel regret from doing so. Perhaps, somewhere deep in my heart, I had expected her to tell me. Since I had mistakenly called her Eri, no, before even that, and at the same time I was certain that when she told me I would definitely tell her this. I like Eri, I'm sorry, but at this time, those words never came. I heard Torta's words and my chest began to hurt. She was working so hard for me and for herself. She said she only wanted one thing, a memory with me. Then there was one thing I realized. I liked Torta just as much. Great! I'm sure Arietta will feel stoked! It was true that I had chosen one of the two. The reason was simple. I thought Eri was the one who needed me. Eri was the weak one, Torta the strong. I chose Eri for that simple and stupid idea. Of course, I didn't regret that decision. I really did like Eri too. My feelings still had not changed. But it was just how I realized how Torta felt. You're not going to say anything. Sorry. No, you don't have to apologize. I know everything. No, I do too. And now what would happen if I said I liked her too? My girlfriend was Arietta, not her sister. That fact wouldn't change. If I put that into words, it would just hurt Torta more. It's nothing. Yeah, I'm going to go back to sleep. I still don't feel so good. I'm going to go home tonight, so I'll sleep until then. Stay as long as you need. Thank you. Torta closed her eyes and fell asleep again. Night came and Torta looked like she was feeling a little better. She woke up many times and she ate fruit and risotto, so I didn't have to worry about her health. She looked like she felt a little bad next to me, so she was walking confidently. Do you want to take tomorrow off too? I don't know. Tell me if you think you can't practice. You're just saying that because you want to have the day off, but I guess there's no reason to work so hard. I'll do my best. Why? To give the best performance. Oh, it'd be bad if you couldn't graduate. Yeah. Seemingly relieved after confessing, she answered naturally. The feelings that had built up in her were gone and she looked peaceful. This is far enough. I can go the rest by myself. Torta stopped and said this on the road a little bit before her house. It was so sudden that I left Torta behind and walked a little ahead. I hurried back to her and put the umbrella back over her head, which had gotten a little wet. I can walk you to the house, and I'm not going to argue. I said it's fine. You lied to me so many times yesterday and today, I don't believe you. This time it's true. Yeah, I'll listen when we get home. I tilted the umbrella a bit, being careful to not let Torta get wet. Then I walked without looking at her face. Welcome home. You're a little late. Excuse me, it's Chris. Home. I folded up the still wet umbrella and put it in a corner of the entryway. Then I walked with Torta to the living room table. Is that you, Chris? Why are you here so late? I'm sorry. It looks like Torta has a cold, but she can't practice. I was worried, so I walked her home. It's not that big of a deal. Torta, it's just a little cold. I'll feel better tomorrow. Torta says that, but if her fever isn't down, can you decide if she needs to rest, Nina? Yeah, thank you, Chris. It's nothing. Anyway, we practice here tomorrow, so you'll be here by 10? It's okay, I'll be here. But if Nina says no practice, then no practice it means. Torta? Yes. Good. Now, did you eat something? You didn't have breakfast today, did you not? I ate it, Chris. In that case, just rest for today. I'll check on you tomorrow morning. Yes, ma'am. Torta answered like a scolded child and went up to her room. For a moment, I thought to walk her to her room, but I couldn't go far. Chris, thank you. It's nothing. I'll give that girl a stern talking to. No, don't do that. Alright, I'll leave the talking to out. Okay. It's late today, so you go home. I'll see you tomorrow. Yes, and please keep an eye on Torta. Leave that to me. See you tomorrow. Yes, good night. Welcome home. How was it? I'm back. It wasn't really anything. I just walked her home. But she said she likes you. Yeah. So you didn't think anything about that? Of course I did, but is it about Arietta? Yeah, I have Ari, so I can't do anything. So, what if you didn't have Ari in that situation? Huh? If there was no Ari, would you have liked Torta? That's a meaningless hypothesis. In reality, I like Eri and I'm with Eri. I can't think of what it would be like if she just never existed. But you know, don't you? You would have an answer for whether or not you like Torta if Eri was not there, right? If so, then what? Well, that's obvious, isn't it? If we're working out the meaningless hypothesis, I see. I like Torta, but not the same way I like Eri. How is it different? Eri's my girlfriend, Torta's a childhood friend. Not whether or not she's your girlfriend. So if Torta had said she liked you first, Torta would be your girlfriend? No. But if she had been honestly like me, if she'd been honest to me like she had been today, I don't think I know. I had some stupid ideas about Torta. If she had shown me her vulnerable side like that, you may have been with her. You're rather talkative today, Forney. You are too, Chris. Anyways, thanks for answering honestly. Why are you thanking me? Because you give a serious answer to a serious question. I do that for anyone, but maybe I just wanted to tell. That's fine too, I'll listen. She said this kindly to me in a more adult tone than usual. She seemed like someone else. But I don't have anything else to say. That's fine too. Just tell me if you want to listen again. I don't think I will. Yeah, then let me ask one more thing. Go ahead. You like Torta, don't you? Sorry, I'll revise that. You like Torta as well, don't you? Yeah. Good. Why do you think that's good? I like both Eri and Torta. But then what I'm doing is wrong to both of them. She smiled and shook her head. Then she said her final words with no time to ask what she meant. Well, it's late today, so I'll disappear. I'll wake you up if it looks like you'll sleep in tomorrow. Horny. Then the way she was acting, I didn't think she was going to tell me what she meant. Because she liked both Eri and Torta. Forney? I called out to her again, knowing that she probably wouldn't appear again today. Thinking about what she meant, I lay down on the bed. But I couldn't sleep yet. I thought of Torta with my eyes closed. The bed had gotten cold, but she had been there until a short while ago. It made me feel embarrassed, and I tried not to think about it. But the more I thought about that, the more I thought about Torta. I needed sleep. I had an early start tomorrow. I was the healthy one. If I was late, Torta would give me an earful. I tossed and turned going over these things in my head, and at some point I finally fell asleep. In the end, I couldn't ask Forney in the morning. She woke up at the last minute, and she woke me up at the last minute, and I got ready and left. It was certainly bad that I had to wake up. But there was a little too much for me to think about with Torta's confession the day before. I woke up many times in the night, and when morning came, I was sleep deprived. I was kept waiting in the entryway for longer than the usual door finally opened. But standing behind the door was Nina, not Torta. I couldn't stand there talking to her for a long time, so for the time being I went inside. Sorry, excuse me. Good morning, Chris. Sorry I took so long. No, that's fine. Torta's not ready yet. She was asleep until a minute ago and said she was going to practice, but I think it'd be better to put her back to bed. Her fever still hasn't gone down. Worst case, it might take 2 or 3 more days. I see. If you say so, Nina, then that might be the case. She's been so busy lately. I think she was tired. It'd be good rest for that girl. Right. I could rest that much, too. Do you want to go see her? No, it's a little weird to go inside a sleeping girl's room, you know. I thought you'd say that. So about tomorrow, did Torta say anything? I put her to bed before she could. Is it about practice? Oh yes, and you could tell her that I hope she feels better soon, and that I'll be waiting for her at the school cafeteria tomorrow at noon. Sure, I can. But if her But if her fever still hasn't gone down, please do the same as today. Yes, sir. I'll tell her that tomorrow morning then. Thank you. That's right. Torta wanted me to tell you one thing, that you should practice properly at home. Right. Tell her I'll do my best. Are you going home now? Do you want to eat something? Well, it looks like I have practice, so I'll go home. Oh, too bad. I'll be going then. Alright. I was practicing alone so my heart wasn't in it. I wanted to make Torta's dream of giving the best performance a reality. But when I thought about Torta, my hands just stopped and I couldn't do anything. It would have been a little different if Forney sang for me, but I told her that she couldn't come out at night, so she hadn't appeared. Maybe Forney was being caring in her own way? If that was the case, it wouldn't mean anything, but I couldn't tell her. It was that time I guess you could call evening. Maybe the letter's here. I remembered this, hoping that Forney would show her face. That came to nothing, and in the end I went to the mailbox by myself. I opened Arietta's letter alone in the room, the same as always. Chris, I'm sorry I lied to you about the time before, but I needed some time to think. I really wanted to tell you this earlier, but forgive me as this letter is the only way I can tell you how I feel. I told her to tell you too, but I'm not angry. It was sudden and surprising, so I got sad suddenly. The next thing I knew, I was crying. I've known this for a while, but you like Torta. I'm sure you'll say it's not the same, but it's the same to me, so please let me ask you one thing. What do you think of Torta? I don't need any other words. I don't need your feelings for me either. I just want to know. What did the letter say? At some point, Forney appeared and was watching me from the window. What do I think of Torta? That's all. I'd like to know that too. So what are you going to write? What you said to me yesterday, right? Yeah, that was true, so I'll write that. That you like her? That, and I like Eri too. That's indecisive. I think she's going to hate that answer. I'm just answering her question. And, about Eri, you're going to write that you like her. Yes. Will Eri be mad? I wonder, but it's fine. Just say how you truly feel. Forney just smiled, and I wouldn't say anything wrong like I did yesterday. I really like this song too. What's this song even called? Faye, I think? I think it's called Faye. I asked that the question I was prepared for Eri to be angry. So it may have been better if she had said it that Eri would be mad. I'll write it just like that. Yeah, do that. When you're finished, you know it's ensemble time. It was just Forney's pet saying. I didn't know she said it consciously, but at the time it lightened my mood into a surprising degree. Yeah, okay. I answered it in this way, and I wrote a short letter. To keep my promise to Nina the day before, I killed time in the cafeteria. I had ordered a light lunch and was already finished eating. Torta had always been next to me recently, so I felt kind of unnatural to watch the cafeteria alone like I did. Hey, Chris, you're alone today. Huh? Oh, Asuna, what brings you here? Yeah. I'm not a big fan of that either. You're always with Tortanita. I always see you, but I didn't say anything because you're with her. You could totally say something. Please do. Well, how could anyone say anything when you two are sitting together so happily? Happily, huh? So where's Tortanita today? She dump you? Whoa, whoa. She really dump you? No! I can't hear you. Nailed it, didn't I? It was the opposite, but I couldn't bring myself to say it. So we're comrades. Comrades? I got dumped too. Last week. He had an absent-minded tone, and because of that I knew he was being honest. He always covered things up with a joke. When it was nothing, he'd inflate things to try and shock me. Once I got used to it, he was easy to understand. You got dumped by your partner? That too. That too. Woo. I didn't think he was avoiding it. In fact, speaking in short sentences was very much like him. But what are you going to do? Oh, I'll just do something with the second-year girl. I at least have another candidate. A girl, as I thought. Better than a guy. So what happened with Tortanita? Oh. There's no way you got dumped, but with that face... Did you get dumped? No! Then that means it's the opposite. Let me guess. She told you she likes you. Dude, you are too easy to read. I almost said who's easy, but the entire subject just made me feel bad. So you turned her down and now you feel bad. That's definitely not it. She is cold. Oh man, I really like this song, Trovatore. That's rare. We're talking about Tortanita here. Yeah, she never showed me her weak side until now, so I didn't notice. You didn't notice? I always thought she was strong. I can't believe you really didn't notice. Huh? What about you, Asano? Well, it doesn't matter. Is that all you're worried about? Oh, I got an update for you guys. I have a buddy who works marketing for the German Square Enix account, and he says at 6 a.m. our time, they're gonna post a new trailer with at the end saying download the demo tomorrow, and the demo will be announced midnight on tomorrow. So December 31st at 12:01 a.m. you're gonna be able to play Final Fantasy VII Remake. Okay, sorry. That brief interlude is done. Well, it doesn't matter. Is that all you're worried about? So it's about Arietta. I guess it could be. So yeah, so you can't decide? That's not it. But I don't want to neglect Torta. Indecisive. I know, but that's how I feel. You're fine, just like that. Thanks, though I feel like you're really making fun of me. That's because I am. Are you gonna practice now? Yeah, but since Torta isn't coming, I'm still gonna practice just today at my home. Can you do it alone? Better than doing it here. How about you, Asano? Forney was there, so it'd be best for me to go home. I think I'll just ask a second year. Just ask. Must be nice to have that much of a personality. No, I'm the one jealous of you. We laughed together and then used that as a signal to stand. People had already left the cafeteria, so I realized that our lunch break was over. See ya. Yeah, see ya. Since Torta hadn't come, she must have been resting at home. For a second, I thought I should go check on her. But if Nina had decided it wouldn't be best to come, I decided to trust her. We still hadn't decided about tomorrow, so I'd stop by Torta's at night. She may have been on her way to school, so I kept my eye out on my way home. I had seen her every day up till that point, so it felt strange not to see her for 2 days, even though I had never seen her over on the weekends till recently. It made me think about how we spent all the time together when we were kids. I had told Torta I didn't know what would happen after graduation, but what I really didn't know was what would happen between her and I. I practiced in form only with Forney, then went to Nina's house. It was already dark outside at the time when some people would be asleep. If I had been there since the afternoon, Torta would have wanted to practice. That's what I aimed for, a time that wouldn't happen. There was also the fact I didn't want to be invited in for dinner. I'm sorry it's so late. Oh, Chris. It was Torta, not Nina, that opened the door. She looked much better. Even her color looked better. Torta, good. It looks like you feel better. I'm relieved. Yeah, honestly, I was fine today. I just took the day off. Sorry, did you wait for me today in the cafeteria? For a little while, but you couldn't have come by at lunchtime, so I went home. What about practice? I practice at home, so don't worry. Is that you, Chris? I heard my name called from inside the house. Yeah, I came to check on her. I'm going right home, though, so just excuse me. I answered Nina in a very loud voice. And then I heard her murmuring in dissatisfaction. Yeah, see, this is the slow version of Secret. I think I like the regular version a little better. I'll check again tomorrow. Will you be okay? I'm totally fine now. You can see that. 10 o'clock tomorrow. The place. Let's do it at school. Here or your place would be fine, though. In that case, the school. I think we can discuss more there. Got it. Come back here next week. Grandma's lonely. Yeah, I will, but 10 o'clock. It was nice starting at noon today. Listen, but come to think of it, it was until noon on Tuesday and Thursday. Oh, I didn't tell you, but Tuesdays are good now. Okay, last week you felt like the new year, so I didn't feel like it. So you only have plans on Thursdays now? Yeah, I guess. That's too bad. Okay, I'm gonna go home. I'm glad you feel better. Chris, what? Nothing. If you're gonna talk so long, why don't you come inside? We can just talk about it tomorrow. Okay, see you tomorrow. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream here. I got some work to do on Kingdom Hearts 3 before the DLC comes out, and since I lost all my save data, I've got to go grind that, unfortunately. Thanks for finishing up Crisis Core. We'll be back tomorrow with Symphonic Rain, and probably just Symphonic Rain. Thank you guys again for joining. I will see you back here tomorrow. Have a nice night, and thank you again.